This is Newsmakers Extra. I've been talking with Dr. Patrick Dix. We're talking about automation. We're talking about artificial intelligence, robotics. We were talking just a little bit before we started rolling on this about preparing for the new society as it's going to be basically run by or run with the help of artificial intelligence, automation, and robotics. And you said right now, kids who are in education right now may not be trained the way that they need to be trained in order to be successful.
Not at all. From teaching college, at various universities across the United States, I have gotten students that have written me and said, Dr. Dix, I am not prepared for this. This came out of their mouth. So that's telling me the education that they may be getting from high school or middle school could be inadequate. It's teaching them how to be a test taker, but in the real world, you have to know how to apply those principles. You're going to have to work with people. You're going to have to have good social skills. So we're not really preparing kids for the future.
Are you concerned at all about what's going on in this country nationally, about our ability to go forward? You talked about the need for society to move forward. If it's going to move forward in the way that you suggest it will, with AI and with automation and robotics, there are going to be a lot of people left behind if they're not prepared.
I'm highly concerned. That's why, I wrote the research, did the dissertation, because I have family members that are going to be left behind and people I know. And I try my best to educate people and say this stuff has not went really mainstream yet. Go to a tech school, retrain on a skill set, become a subject matter expert so you can move with society.
What does that mean? You said subject matter expert.
Know how this technology works, because just like robotics and automation, the processes is computerized. Somebody has to know how it works. Somebody has to know how it works, so if it breaks, they can fix it.
AI seems to scare a lot of people. I shouldn't say a lot of people. It scares me. Let's just say, right? It scares me because you can say something and next thing you know, it's being printed out. What you just said verbally is printed. There's so many different things. So are you an advocate of AI and robotics and all that kind of stuff? You think that's the best way to go?
I'm an advocate for those technologies to make hazardous processes easier and to take humans out of there so they won't get killed or injured or maimed. I'm an advocate for that. I'm also an advocate for technology to help make us better, but to completely replace people, I am not an advocate for that at all.
So what kind of hope do you give people right now when somebody's in the I don't know what I'm gonna do, either there or they're coming out of high school now, and you said they've been a great test taker, but they haven't prepared for something else. How do they change up in order to be ready for what you're suggesting they're going to need to be ready for?
One of the things I would ask them, do you have good social skills? That's something that's missing out of society now. People do not have social skills. We don't know how to communicate. There were already people that were introverts when the pandemic happened, and more people now introverts.
Don't you think that a lot of that has to do with being able to kind of go into that little handheld devices and that sort of thing?
Yes, the cell phones, everybody now is walking around with their neck down. I forgot the syndrome they're going to call it from people having bent necks, but people just walk around with their cell phones. They have really no reality to life, and you have to talk to people to get things done. One of the things I would tell people is know how to have social skills. 2, know how to retrain and know how to think analytically. 3, know how to work with your hands. Because in this society we're going in, you're going to have to use a combination of all 3 of those.
Well, Dr. Dix, I'll tell you that I'm toward the end of my career, so I'm not going to worry about any of that. I'll be reading about it, all the other, and hopefully my children are listening and they can be able to do that. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Houston Newsmakers Extra, share it with everybody you know.